Member for Lindsay. I'll give the call to the member for Laylaw.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And I relish the opportunity to speak this afternoon on this matter of public importance, and I am honoured to follow the speakers from this side who have spoken before me, because on this side of the chamber, as you can hear today in this debate, there is a passion for childcare, a passion that is sorely lacking across the other side of this chamber. And it's to do with the way Labor develops policy and what drives us and motivates us when we develop and implement policy. I want to talk today a little bit about a link back to the past. We heard a lot of it in question time, links back to the past, our past, Labor's past, lots of celebration of Labor's achievements, and we've done a lot of that this week. And like Gough Whitlam's government changed the paradigm around tertiary education, under the Whitlam government, if we remember, free university education was introduced. It was introduced to shift people's thinking, to radically change the way people thought about tertiary education. It opened up that education system. It made it affordable, it created aspiration, it created access, and it changed Australia in doing so. It meant an increased number of women. It increased participation rates of women. It increased participation rates, critically, of mature-age students that were women. And that changed children's lives. Gough Whitlam's government changed lives, and like that, what the previous Labor government did in the childcare space was aim to do a similar thing, to change that paradigm, to change childcare from the cheap, cheerful model that those opposite would like us to have to one that was educative, to one where children got care and learning. It was huge. And what have we got today? We've got an MPI where all we're talking about over here is money and dollars, and all we're talking about over here is quality. We introduced the quality framework, and we understand on this side of the chamber, and have done forever, that to change a paradigm you might need to kick in with some funding. And we have lots of negatives from the other side of the House about budget blowouts. You can't change a paradigm without increasing participation in a program. The budget blowout, as they call it, reflects increased participation from women in the workforce, something on this side of the chamber that we celebrate. It is not, but gee, it's a powerful point. We changed the way the service operated. You know, recently in my electorate, I went to visit family daycare centres, like all of us have over here. We have 33 providers in Lalor, all of which have been told that they may be at risk of losing their funding. 33 providers across an enormous number of educators. When I went to visit a few of them, what struck me was how the sector had shifted. I was someone who used family daycare when my children were young. I saw a marked difference. I met people who were running family daycare in their homes, who were incredibly proud of the work they'd done in quality frameworks, who were incredibly proud of their qualifications, who talked as educators about the children they were looking after, who were able to take me to a visual that showed me what those children had been learning in the last 3 months, to plans about what they were going to put in place for each child into the future. That's what you call shifting a paradigm. That's not a cheap and cheerful model. That's the model we need for modern Australia. And I think that one of the important things we have to note in this MPI, of course, we do have to talk about money, because we have to talk about the fact that Labor built a changed expectation, Labor built aspiration, Labor provided money to family daycare that allowed, in my electorate, shift workers like those who work in the prison system to have their children in family daycare. I heard from families whose wives had been employed because they found this model locally, and daycare centres that were working specifically, family daycare operators who were working specifically with shift-working families. But we've had the cuts. We're going to pull this back because Labor builds and those opposite tear it down. And the cuts they're introducing to childcare will tear down this sector. We hear a lot about the unionisation of the workforce as if somehow that is a negative. The unionisation of the childcare workforce is about women, mostly. It's about women in the workforce collectively bargaining for a better deal for themselves and for the children they care for.
Hear, hear.